So what kind of corn are we talking about? What kind of corn maze is this?
Animals were involved, but none were hurt in the making of my merriment.
The 1BC podcast does not endorse this corn maze.
Did you hear him? He said they weren't involved in his merriment.
Yeah.
We do not endorse this corn maze.
None were harmed in my
Cancel
merriment.
him. Cancel him in the comments.
Is it bad that the first word that I thought was that's Negro surgery, and I feel weird about it?
That's crazy.
It's
crazy.
Negroplasty, KJ.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I got that in there. Welcome to the 1BC podcast, where we talk
go
all
watch
things
the
on our
go
one
watch the
brain
South
cell.
Park episode.
This is really the intro we're going with today?
Yeah, South Park.
South Park. Is that
Yeah,
what's
dude,
on our one brain cell?
They have an entire episode about negroplasty, and then one of their dads wants to become a dolphin, so he gets like a dolphin plasty.
What animal would you want to plasty yourself with, Matt? If you could
KJ's a
take any
tiger.
animal, obviously.
Honestly, I want gills.
You want gills? Okay.
I want gills.
The freaking deep sea legend.
Yeah,
Dude,
he is the deep sea warrior.
I would love to somehow have my body be able to like sustain pressurized environments and breathe underwater.
Okay.
I would love that so much.
Dude, think of all the treasure you could get from the shipwrecks.
Nah, dude, I wouldn't care about the treasure. I would literally just like free swim through the ocean and be so happy about it.
Don't get caught by like a squid or something like that. That would be a tragic way to go.
Wait. Are we just looking like the animals, or we're getting the superpowers of the animals?
It's kind of like a half animal
yeah.
situation. Like for Matt, I'm imagining from Goblet of Fire when Harry eats the gillweed and he gets like slightly webbed feet. And
So it's not just.
I would just like to say, KJ, that my brain also went to Harry Potter, and I was thinking about the gillyweed and Victor Crumb doing the half shark transformation.
Yes.
To himself.
Yes.
Oh, wait.
We're on the same page. Okay, cool.
So we're not just talking like a pure surgery. We're talking like
I mean,
there's a little bit of magic happening. A little bit of magic.
Just a little bit of CRISPR, dude.
It's a little bit of CRISPR. Because like in this case, you have some surgery, but with some actual improvements to his ability to do things.
Yo, CRISPR is unironically like magic and is amazing. CRISPR
What
is
is the
freaking
difference
awesome.
between science and magic?
We don't understand.
Thank you.
It's science that we don't understand.
Yeah. We're the same brain cell. I mean, we got it. Easy.
We're starting off strong, so it's only downhill from here.
We're all on the same page right now, so you know it's not going to stay that way.
Yeah, exactly. We do have a couple things to talk about. Since we're already on animals, I think that we'll start with something mammalian based. I have a burning question for you guys, and I really want you to delve deep with me.
Why
okay?
am I scared?
Do poros lay eggs? Because they come out of tactician eggs for TFT sometimes, or variations of poros. But they seemingly have a bunch of hair and would be closely associated with a ram, which would make them mammalian. So do we have like a platypus echidna type situation where these are just weird abominations of the animal kingdom? Do they have live birth, or are tactician's eggs really how poros are born? Thoughts?
So let me just say that KJ and I started talking about this because technically speaking, some poros hatch out of TFT Hextech eggs.
That's what tactician's eggs are, but yes.
But I also did just look, just as a warning, I looked up poro breeding, and I instantly got breeding videos from some corn sites. So
Did you say corn sites?
Yes, Google at your own discretion.
you know what I'm talking about.
So if we're talking about those tactician eggs coming out of a poro, it's not possible.
How do you know that the eggs
it's
don't...
bigger than the poro. You're saying the egg grows?
It could grow, maybe. I don't know.
There's also the gremlins theory as well.
I don't think there's no egg in history that has ever grown. An egg is an egg.
If you feed too many poro snacks to a poro, it does multiply into other poros.
No. It explodes.
Well,
Yeah,
it
multiply
self-replicates.
explodes,
It
like
self-replicates.
tomato, potato.
So Poros not only self-replicate, they can also be hatched out of eggs. So I think we're landing on some type of abomination type animal.
But what is laying the egg?
The other breed.
I don't know. Maybe a dragon lays a Poro egg. Like it could be like a basilisk situation where you have a frog sit on a chicken's egg and you get a snake.
Dude, that's why Smolder can't get his stacks on ARAMs.
True.
He's busy making Poro eggs.
I've completely lost track of this conversation. I'm
right,
lost.
KJ, would you like to bring up your real topic now?
Yeah. Okay, so the real topic was
the only reason I even know the word mammalian is from SpongeBob. That's the only context I have for the word mammalian.
I literally.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Just to confuse you and remind KJ.
I'm more confused that you haven't heard the word mammalian other than SpongeBob.
The only time was when Sandy says, "It's a mammalian thing, SpongeBob," and SpongeBob says, "Well, I'll have you know, I am 100% mammal."
Yes, I do remember that quote.
And that's it. That's all the context I have for mammalian.
Perfect. Well, something that you may have a little bit more context on is music, being that you are a musician at heart.
Sure.
I wanted to talk about Riot's music and definitively give the One Brain Cells opinion as to what is the best music group in the Riot music sphere. Now, to make this fair, since not all bands have like the same amount of discography that's been put out, I wanted to go with their debut song of the 4 major bands that have been produced, being Pentakill, KDA, True Damage, and Heartsteel. And then we were going to go off of each one of those songs and decide which one is the definitive best of the band, and we can rank them if we would like as well.
Didn't Pentakill have a song before it was even like a real band? Are we going off of that song?
Yes, the same thing with KDA, because they had a song technically before they were really an official band. Like it was just a one-off song, and then they came back with more afterward.
What are the songs we're judging them off of?
So you did call out Mortal Reminder, KJ, but
yeah.
Mortal Reminder is actually one of their most recent songs.
I guess that is their more recent song, but it was the one that they had like the big music video for, which is why I picked Mortal Reminder. Okay. And then for KDA, it was Pop Stars. That was their first single. Heartsteel only has Paranoia, and then True Damage only has Giants. So if I'm going based on just the song itself, I think I'm giving it to Pop Stars. Actually,
yeah, same.
Because I think it's a really well done song. I think it put Riot Music on the map and showed that they can do more than just video game music. Riot has always been like a really musical integrated company in my opinion, but that was the first one that kind of broke out into mainstream, and I started hearing on like radio or other people talk about music that they had no idea was Riot music. If I want to include music videos into which one I think is the best, then I think it goes to True Damage and Giants. Specifically for the section with Echo and the different art style that they took with him being like in blacklight and him being almost like a chalk drawing in the art. I think that part was really, really cool. But those are my tops.
That was also close to, if not within their Arcane era. Mm-hmm. So I feel like they actually had like studios that were developing like different art techniques that were not necessarily unique as a whole, but like kind of like the Riot staple system where they were working on their like Arcane-esque art style, and that feels like it's like within.
So in the Giants theme song, in the subway, there is actually an Arcane poster with Vi holding powder. It was like the initial trailer poster. That's in the subway inside of the music video, and that video came out in 2019 before Arcane or season 1 of Arcane was like even out. So okay. It's interesting that you already knew that.
Yeah, you could tell based off the art style. I mean, like the like KDA system, they have like a very like already heavily formatted like proven system. They just essentially copied a lot of what's popular for K-pop. Well, and I 100% I 100% agree with what you said in terms of like a lot of people, and this has happened in the past with other Riot songs. I
Mhm.
know notably the world song for oh my gosh, what is it? The Imagine Dragons Warriors.
Yes.
Like my mom heard that song and
Mhm.
was telling me about how much she liked it. And I was like, "Oh, that's a League of Legends song." And I think that made her like it a little bit less.
Yeah.
But she
Yeah.
liked it and heard it separately. And with, I'm sure like Nate, you and your kids, we've talked about our kids listening to this, the K-pop Demon Hunters.
Yeah.
Same exact thing. Before I even watched the movie, I heard one of the songs on like somebody's playlist or the radio or something. And I was
Mm.
like, wow, this is a really good song. And I've
Mhm.
heard dozens of other people with the same thing where like it's breaching like the bubble that it's meant for.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've
it
heard
shows, like, how
quite a
good it
few of those songs on the radio now, which is kind of crazy to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I watched the movie before I heard any of the songs, so it was a fun experience for me. But then yeah, hearing it on the radio, I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Kind of wild.
Nate, what about you?
I actually
I'm sorry.
well, I was just gonna say I actually like the Pentakill video the best because I
Timo
feel
one?
like
Mm-hmm.
as the mortal reminder, because I think as like an old head, like most of us are with how much we've been in the game, you got like Rumble is flirting with Tristana in the bar, like Yorick like punching out his hat and basically like becoming Slash as he like digs himself out of the ground and like playing on his guitar. Karthus just like singing about like death and destruction as he's like spinning around on his central stage. Like they did a really good job with like
Yeah.
essentially fan service.
Yeah, that's probably
for
my
that one.
favorite music video because it felt like they were just having fun with it. They're like, let's just like do some stuff and who cares if people really like it. So that one was fun for me. They weren't trying to make it like a professional music video or anything like that.
Speaking of, I just want to interject real quick. When you said that, I think that's part of the reason I like True Damage's music video because it feels like a traditional music video that could be made with all like real people in a real set. Like nothing about except for the echo section when everything goes into blacklight, all of that could be made with practical effects this like today.
Mm.
And I think that makes that video really cool because it like bridged that gap for me where like it wasn't just animation, it was like they were making a real music video.
Did you see, you remember the KDA part of where they do the blacklight as
Mhm.
well? They do it for Akali, so she actually like speaks through the mask because they
Yes,
animate
yes.
like a blacklight mouth onto her.
Over her bandana. Yeah, I thought that was really
Yeah.
cool.
Right? Yeah, I liked that part too.
Yeah, I think KDA has to like take the cake as the best Riot band, like just kind of period. If you look at everything, because I even had like when that came out, it blew up into the mainstream, which we've already said. But like there were people where I would tell them about pop stars, and they would say, "Oh, it's from like Fortnite or something, isn't it?" So it was like people knew it came from a video game, and because Fortnite had already exploded in the main scene or mainstream with the dancing and all that, people were like, "Oh, it must be coming from that too."
Mhm.
So Riot was even like exploding into it, and people like were making the assumption that it must be Fortnite because no other video game was doing something cool. So it was like, yeah, that one like absolutely put Riot on the map. And you know, some people didn't know it was Riot, but they at least knew it was from a video game and that it was like an important thing happening, and kind of laid the groundwork for Riot to actually do music stuff.
Mhm.
So I think KDA just like unequivocally has to be the greatest Riot band because it's harder to break out than it is to keep things going.
Yeah, funnily enough for me, I think True Damage actually falls number 4.
Really? At least for the song
I think
itself.
it's for the song. Like if we're just going music,
Mhm.
it's KDA into Pentakill because
Mhm.
that's my style of music as well. Like
Yeah.
I love metal, I love pop, or I love pop, punk, rock, and metal. Like those are my favorite types. And then I like Heartsteel's music video, and I think the music a little bit better than True Damage. Both Heartsteel and True Damage are very similar types of music for me that I'm just like, I don't like as much. But I think I like Heartsteel overall. I also just like Heartsteel. as an item.
Yeah.
So that's biased as well. like the true damage is sick, but like how many of us are like either Dark Harvest or Heartsteel enjoyers? Like how many of us love that mini game?
Yeah, you're not wrong.
It like gives you like that extra burst of just like, oh, Heartsteel, let's go.
It gives you like a really satisfying sound too.
Yeah.
I suppose there's worse reasons to have for liking a band. So
The other thing I was going to say is, Matt, when you were talking about how they kind of followed the K-pop influence, I think Riot is really smart about picking which artists that they have to like sing their music and stuff. And they pick artists that are either up and coming or had just gotten really big. And this is usually like a year or several months in advance. And so they're kind of predicting who's going to be the big name while they're picking the artists to do this. Like for KDA, the two Koreans that kind of add the K-pop style are both from G-Idol, which was either a really big band at the time or like was up and coming at the time when Popstars first came out. And she was like one of the biggest female rappers in Korea.
Yeah, the production definitely hinders the ability to like throw it out when it's like at its peak for
Mhm.
them, unfortunately. How much do you guys actually know like K-pop bands?
not very much.
I know a little, but not
Little
really.
bit.
Yeah.
The big ones. Do you guys know Baby Metal a little?
Yes. Baby
Dude.
Metal's old school, dude.
Dude, I know, but not a lot of people know. Like,
Little
Nate,
gimme chocolate.
I would be so happy
Come on.
if Riot made like Baby Metal. Like, give me Pentakill and KDA mixed
KDA
into one band.
Pentakill crossover.
Yes, dude. Please. Please, dude. I would love it so much. I know so many other people like techno metal is something that's on the rise right now. But I would love it so much.
Speaking of, since we're on music stuff right now, I know there was like a recent release of the people that are going to be at Riot's at Worlds, and Christy Costanza was going to be one of the people performing. So I think they're kind of doing like a 15-year like anniversary celebration for Riot. Do you guys have
Big
any
thing.
predictions or hopes
MMO.
for what the
MMO.
Riot song is going to be by, or who the artist is going to be?
Oh. There'll be an MMO
Um,
announcement. 100%.
I hope
No,
so.
there won't. There won't.
It's not going to be, but I hope so.
That's a good question. Yeah, I don't know, because it's like
Lil
last
Nas
year
X.
we had Link. Oh my god, no! I think everybody's good on Lil Nas X.
Yeah.
I think that was one of the first big times where they're just like, hey, we're gonna do something that like doesn't matter to our audience at all. We're just gonna get a major pop star, have him happen to write a music video, and like try to tie it in.
Yeah, like he didn't
Like,
write that song for Riot. It was one that he already had on his shelf that he was like sitting on, and it happened to fit with the Worlds theme.
And like every other, either the song was written by fans of the games, like Imagine Dragons, who like they made all of that content off how big of fans, and that the band literally played like 5-man queues together.
Mm-hmm.
Or they got other artists and they made music videos that like were able to tell a story and like show the history of the game in like an exceptionally hype way. And Star Walk-In was just not it. It was totally 100% trying to like cash in on the hype of a pop star and bring in like outside people to the game.
And they released it around the time that like one of their only openly non-heterosexual and non like white characters was also coming out, made him look like Lil Nas X in his skin, and then did nothing with that. It was just
Is this
flop.
Kasante?
Yeah. It's
Yes.
just a flop all around.
I thought of something as a joke at first to tie into like current events and then realized it may be true.
Okay.
Conspiracy time. Tinfoil
Yeah.
hat.
Well, I don't think it's going to be true, but if so, Riot's kind of screwed. And KJ and I were talking about this a second ago, actually, because what if David was doing the Riot song?
Oh, that's so awkward.
Right? Because
David is a if you don't know Matt, he is a Riot artist, or he is an artist that has worked with Riot before. He did the Remember
Technically,
Me song from the second season of Arcane.
D4VD.
Yeah. But
He did
Yeah.
what song?
Remember Me.
That one. That one?
And so
Yeah,
he is not a person
No.
of interest currently. However, he is involved in a murder situation with a 15-year-old girl who may or may not have been his girlfriend. And she was found decomposing in the trunk of a car that belongs to him, and she had been decomposing so much that her body parts are now separate pieces.
Yeah. Either way, he's just not involved at this point.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether it is any allegations are true or not. I mean, Riot is pretty stupid when it comes to like their associations with like.
Yeah, no, they definitely would have dropped him by
Advertisers.
now. But what if he was the one working on the world song, and now they're gonna have to scramble to find somebody else?
Oh yeah, I mean, you say that like it's a problem.
Like, they do have pulling
We're
power.
gonna get
and they
another
have
crappy
really-
music video.
Yeah, and the entire format and like year has been trash. So a trash song would be fine, which is a perfect segue into my topic, which is mostly focused around LTA, but the entire schedule of professional League of Legends and how much it has just been absolute and utter ass this year. I mean, this
Like
is
in a
going to
bad way?
be this is going to be yes. Yes.
I mean, ass could be good. I mean, let's just keep it real.
Unwiped Hershey squirts swamp ass.
Okay, we didn't have to.
He said it could be. He wanted to make sure that you
That's-
knew it wasn't good.
That's
definitely not
kind of
good.
ass.
Okay.
That's kind of ass.
Okay. Well, we're on the same page.
They went to a buffet that had cultural dishes.
No, we're
from
done.
the
We're good.
entire-
No.
The entire world.
Got it.
They went to
Okay,
China.
so what did
We
they
need
do?
more
What did they
visuals.
do?
Wait,
What did
what's
they
wrong with
do?
China?
Europe,
What did they do?
America, South America, all of those dishes mixed together. So this is going to be a very general topic that you guys can also like pick and choose from. If you
I
guys
don't even
have any
remember what the
points.
topic was. Are we talking about ass? Is that?
Crappy League of Legends professional formats.
Oh,
Yeah, bad
Oh.
formats.
okay.
So first of all, we've had 4 international tournaments this year. The third one, because we've had First Stand
MSI.
into MSI,
Mhm.
into, technically not like Riot, but has their game and everything. The I don't know, Middle Eastern Cup, whatever the hell that thing was
Oh,
called.
EWC. Yeah, Esports World Cup.
EWC. And then we're gonna have Worlds.
Mhm.
So 4 international tournaments. Crappy formats all around. The fact that MSI, we only got 1 team from North America
Mhm.
specifically, because the other one is from South America.
Yep.
So like specifically as North American fans, we lost a bunch of slots.
I mean,
The fact that MSI is the best format tournament, unfortunately, even though they had like not the teams that we wanted there.
Yeah.
And we're gonna go to Worlds and we're gonna have single elimination again.
Yep.
So that sucks because double elimination by far is the best system, especially if we are doing the fearless system. Like you learned so much the first time around, you got to give a second time around. Literally, sorry, in Korea right now, Gen.G and T1 are in the lower bracket for Korea. Imagine if it was single elimination and they were both out of Worlds because it was single elim. And we had to send HLE, who is looking really good right now, but we had to send KT as the second seed.
Well, technically, we are still sending all 4 of those teams. They haven't decided
Yes.
seeding yet, but all 4 of them are going.
Yes, but if we potentially didn't have double elimination, they would have been gone.
Yes.
Because T1 got taken out by KT and wouldn't have had the chance to fight Damwon for like the
last
official
fourth
fourth slot.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then like I feel like nobody except for maybe like the French and the Spanish care about LEC anymore.
that's crazy.
ever since Riot decided to like make some power moves against Shocks, I feel like that's like when the league
Wait,
started
what?
to
This you're
deteriorate.
burying the lead. Hello?
Dude, this is like years old.
Yeah.
Where they like wouldn't renegotiate her contracts, and she
That's why
went
she's not on
over
the
and she
broadcast
started
anymore.
doing like FPS games and stuff.
She's doing freelance and stuff now.
Well, I
Yeah.
knew she was doing freelance, but she was still working with Riot.
She works with Riot.
She was
for, like, the
freelance
big
for a long
events.
time.
She works with them for the
Yeah.
big events, but she doesn't do LEC anymore. Not really. It's more
Hmm.
like Lore and I can't remember the other girl's name that hosts a lot. But yeah, it's supposed to have been taken over by Lore at this point. I also agree that the formats suck, and it's even worse that they're not all the same. Because like if you watch multiple leagues, then like watching 3 best of 3 round robins between LCK for summer versus a couple best of 3s and then 1 best of 5 for LTA. We get like what, four best of 5s for our conference in total.
I think so, yeah.
And they have like double elimination for 4 world spots, and we can't even get double elimination for our 2. 1 guaranteed.
It is interesting. It's not like it's multiple different like tournaments coming together, or like multiple different leagues or something coming together for one tournament. You know, like in baseball, there's the MLB and everybody's playing by the same rules, and then the world championships for baseball is the same format like throughout the whole thing, right? But like then there's also the World Baseball Classic, which is baseball teams from around the world coming together. So there's separate leagues that probably had different rule sets that are then coming together for this big tournament. And the crazy thing is, like, technically they're separate. Like LEC and like LCK and all that are like separate leagues.
Yeah.
But it's all Riot. Like it's all technically the same thing. So why couldn't they have consistency of format throughout every league and every like world's tournament? Like why do they choose to not do that? That just seems kind of silly.
It's a great question.
They
I mean,
have full
it's-
control.
It's about like advertisers and the fact that like both North America and Europe, I mean Europe less so now that you have like KC, you have the Spanish Liga, like all of those teams in there, it's a lot easier to sell seats. North America, you don't sell seats. I've seen so many games where like they pan to the crowd for like half a second because they're trying to show like the 3 fans with signs in like the 80 seat arena. Like nobody goes to North America really anymore, even on like major tournament days.
That's interesting.
Which
Back
kind of
when I was
feeds back
watching, they were
into, like-
definitely like packing the stadiums. Like
Yeah,
I went
I mean,
to
we used to go.
one in LA, and I went to the North American finals in Canada, and both of those were packed out events. Like the local event and then the North American final event were both
Yeah.
packed out.
I think that
Yeah,
might
I
be an
used to hear about how they were
oversaturation of
sold
LA
out all the
though.
time.
Like I think if they had more road games, then they would have more hype about people going. Because like if it's always there every single week, it's like you don't want to go to the movies every single week, so you're not going to go to a movie theater even if they're showing the movie that you want to see. You know what I mean? But like if you rarely get to go to the movies and then it only comes like once a year that you get to go, well then you're way more inclined to take that opportunity to go see it. And I think that LEC kind of figured this out with their road shows, and so did LCK a little bit this year, with them having shows that are hosted by individual teams, and then they had bigger venues, they had bigger events surrounding it, and then you have like a 2 or 3 day road show for that weekend, hosted by one of the teams or sponsored by one of the teams, and then they can have a bunch more partnerships with merchandising because it's not just the viewership, it's the people that are actually in the venue as well, and it's going to be in a new place, so people are more inclined to go.
Plus, LCS has to play in the closet
Interesting.
a lot of the time
That's true too.
because of Valorant, and I don't even know what the seating is like for the closet stage. I don't even know if there is.
I don't think there is
seating.
I don't think there is.
So, like, yeah, like we're all adults. I'm sorry, but like most of the people I see in the audiences are more our age. They're more of like the older league crowd. I don't see as many young people there, and if I do, it's normally because they're brought by teams or by like family members or something. We all have jobs. We need to like schedule and like try to get dates together. And if you happen to be free and available to go see a game when it's in the closet and there's no sitting, like, well, okay, guess I'm not going to see a game.
I think there's also something to be said for it is ultimately just an esport, and like esports are very young compared to traditional sports, and like everybody knows there's going to be baseball next year, everybody knows there's going to be football next year, but the fact that Riot has stuck around with League of Legends for so long is actually impressive. And like it's not a guarantee that there's always going to be League of Legends esports. It's crazy that it got to the point where they're selling out massive stadiums for their world finals, and has gotten very similar to traditional sports in viewership in that way. But the fact that it seems to be dying out now is not necessary. It shouldn't be shocking, and it's kind of expected. It's impressive that they got to the heights that they did, but I mean, every other esport has died out like this when people shift their interest to a different game. It kind of makes sense.
No, you're not wrong. But I think the formatting has done a lot of damage this year, between specifically the LCS rebrand.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I wanted to bring up, because I've been watching a bunch of like end of the year content from teams and coaches in the LCS, and they've been talking about how so many times this year the coaches, the owners, and the players didn't know when patches were dropping for pro play. They didn't know when they were playing, which is one of the most insane things to me.
Yeah.
What league is this?
This is LCS.
Oh, jeez.
LCS, KJ, say it right. We don't use that blasphemy. It's LCS.
I'm just trying to talk to the actual official people. It's called the LTA.
Well, then you have to say LTA North, because that's what we're talking about right now.
Okay, well, I'm sure that people in the LTA South also didn't know. And if I'm talking about the entire conference, it's the entire
to be fair,
league and not in one individual conference or the other. Since we both have the same schedule, then I can say LTA.
I don't know if LTA South has the same schedule or have had the same issues.
They do have the same format. They have the exact same schedule as us. They're just like 2 or 3 hours.
But I don't know if they've had the same communication issues. Most of what I'm bringing to the table is from Cloud9, Liquid, Dignitas, and what was the other one? I think like Shopify had mentioned like scheduling issues.
If Riot
so I don't know
has
about
better
South.
communication to LTA South than they do LTA North, I'm going to Riot. So I'm going to assume that the communication is blanket until further otherwise.
That is fair. But yeah, it's just ridiculous to me that like you don't know your schedule ahead of time. Like there's not like a spreadsheet that you can go look at. Or like LoL Esports is wrong for not just LCS, but like LPL and LCK. Sometimes it just doesn't have games listed, or they're off by like hours, whether that's an hour early or an hour late. You used to be able to Google LCS LoL, just like you Google NFL, MLB, NHL, and it would pop up on the top, the schedule. You didn't even have to go to LoL Esports.
It was integrated already.
Google would generate it and it integrated. You don't even have that anymore. Like most people, streamers and owners didn't even know their teams played these last few weeks. Like the first round of the LTA
cross-conference play.
What happened? How is it dismantled? So like
do you know that FlyQuest is playing right now?
This is like amateur level. Like this is some guys have a basement and they wanted to start running esports leagues out of it. Like this was a premier esport, and now it seems to have like fallen apart to the point of just an amateur level tournament. Like
so
how
with
there
LTA,
had to have been some sort of large event that caused it to fall apart so much. Like what happened?
LCS being rebranded to LTA North and the CB LoL being rebranded to LTA South made 2 different regions that had 2 separate leagues, 1 league with 2 conferences. When cross-conference play actually ended up happening, because on the website, you're no longer LTA North, You're no longer LTA South. This is LTA Cross Conference. It had a new tab that you needed to have highlighted and clicked on so that you could see the schedule for the cross conference play. So in the analogy that you're giving for the MLB versus the ALB, you had a schedule for one if you were in one, and you had a schedule for the other if you were in the other. But when they actually met each other for the World Series, that was not to be seen unless you actually clicked on World Series. You had to have that additional step. And if you didn't know to take that additional step, then you probably never knew that they were playing in the first place, because it's not where you would expect it to be.
It's even more like, it'd be like the National League play. Like you there's a tab for National League, a tab for American League, and then a tab for cross conference between American and National League, which would be crazy if baseball did that.
Yes.
But like, I don't know. You could still have like what we're talking about is structures breaking down, like communication structures that would have been built over the decade plus of the esport. Like how have actual like how did everything break down? That's just
my personal opinion is that
Is it just cost cutting?
Riot's new CEO, who came in like 2 to 4 years ago, has been slowly implementing his own things and thinks that he knows the wheel better than the people that have been working on it since Riot's inception. And because of that, a lot of the decisions that have been being made seem like they're steps backwards as he tries to relearn the pitfalls that were learned early on, in my opinion.
When did the new CEO start?
I want to say in 2021 or 2022. But give me just
I was going to say, I think it was 3 years ago, but I could be wrong.
That's interesting. Yeah, that'll do it. A new CEO will do it. CEOs tend to have a bit of a god complex, and they think they know everything, and they're worth the millions that they're paid.
He started in September of 2023. So
yeah, and like
this is his official.
Don't get me wrong. Like new management trying to express like innovation or format change within like the workspace, totally fine. But like if you don't understand the system that you're coming into, like you need to take a step back and like enable others to teach you and do what they've been doing. And then once you have a grasp of what to do, then step in. It's not like Riot was suffering when he came in. Yeah. Just across the board, pretty much hate all the formats. Of course, the EWC I thought was absolute trash, because not only did it cause a bunch of like human rights and like political conversations, there was like entire games categories that they set up that like players didn't even show up for. And a lot of issues there. But like also you could see the fatigue on any team that was part of EWC, especially the ones that went to MSI and EWC. They came back to their regions and they just like, most of them just weren't right in the head.
Yeah.
Like they were so far behind the curve.
I'm going to tell you right now, that's probably the future of almost all esports, I would bet. Riot's esport involving League of Legends will probably die out, especially because it seems like all the structures are falling apart. But where it will survive is in that conference. I can almost guarantee it, because they have unlimited money to continue it. And it, not to get super political about it, but it's how they keep looking like the good guys to the West. This is why almost all Formula One races are now in Saudi Arabia. It's because they are specifically targeting sports, because Western audiences love sports. So that everybody's like, oh, my favorite sport happens in Saudi Arabia. So like Saudi Arabia must be a cool place. You know what I mean? Like that's almost entire. I would wager that's where all esports are going to go pretty soon. And that one will not die out, because they don't care how much it costs. It's advertising for the country.
I mean, it's like the IEMs that we used to have. I wish that they had brought back similar tournaments to that, but this is like a bastardized version.
I mean, just bring me back to the IEM days.
Yeah.
You know?
When it was scrappy.
Yeah, dude. Like make it scrappy again. Make it fun. Just have like big companies put on like a few tournaments a year with like halfway decent prize pools. Get back to your roots.
Go to
like it would kind of be like, yeah, like it's kind of what KJ's saying. Like it creates road shows. It
Mhm.
like makes teams travels. It kind of like brings back that hype a little bit. It would reduce Riot's budget because they would no longer be like in charge of the system. Like I think
Yeah.
they should still run the Worlds tournament at the end of the year,
Mhm.
and teams especially like compete in these IEMs to get points to earn their way in. But like, yeah, I like Riot just doesn't seem to care enough about the system. A lot of teams just don't want to be a part of the system as a result anymore. Some of it's due to their own fault and overspending.
I mean, when you
and
think about
budget
it
and stuff
too,
like that, but
like the NFL is not put on by the people that made football. You know what I mean? Riot having all of that in house has always been, like, for an esport, not weird, but for a traditional sport, very weird. Like there's independent companies that are putting on the sporting activities. It's not the people that invented the sport. That's a unique thing to esports, and probably shouldn't be the way it is going forward.
You're saying like the franchise teams should own the league, not necessarily Riot and
Yeah.
them partnering to own the league.
Yeah, having like a franchise league, sure, but not even necessarily that. Like Riot owning basically the teams and the league and the casters, and Riot owning all of that, I think was probably very pie in the sky and gave them a lot of overhead that they weren't able to manage. And having Riot having like maybe some bare bones and saying like, if you compete in these Riot approved tournaments, then you can join the world finals or whatever. Like you're kind of suggesting now. But Riot having control over that whole process was probably always unsustainable because it's just so much overhead.
Tyler won Invitational.
Exactly. Dude, that was a great tournament. Did he bring that back?
I think
Or did he only do it 1 year?
I think he did a second round, but I could be wrong. But the first one was amazing, dude.
The first
The
one was
first one
amazing.
was so freaking good.
And it's while he's banned from the game.
I just want him to keep doing that every year, but like bring in like the toxic people to do like the casting.
Yes, like him and Dantes could be
Yeah.
the head casters.
Yes.
It also just brings
Yes.
it, like, you can have it be such a large production and very prestigious, but having individual tournaments, it's almost, dude, you know what it is, Matt, you're gonna love it. This is the Pokemon League. You have to
Get your badges.
Exactly. You're getting badges from these. You're going to tournaments. You're winning these badges that are Riot approved badges that you then show to join the Riot World Tournament. Like, it makes it much more scrappy. Like, you still have the prestige of the World Tournament, but then you have these like scrappy little tournaments that teams can join in also. It'd be so cool. That'd be sick. We're starting the 1BC Pokemon League.
You coming up with ideas over there? What's your topic for this week, sir?
Oh.
Did you do your homework, sir?
There was a lot of stuff happening this week,
Mm-hmm.
but not stuff that I'm willing to discuss on this podcast. So what I've been thinking about a lot is the leaves falling on the ground, and it's fun.
Leaves are
I made sure to mow my lawn so that the leaves would blow off of my lawn. That's what I've been doing this week. Buying a little candy corn. I love my candy corn.
Candy corn is so good. Unpopular
I hate
take.
candy
I love it.
I hate it so much.
Matt and I were fighting before the podcast, actually.
Mhm.
Little inside baseball, because everybody, I think we all agree, one brain cell, that the pumpkins are the best.
Yes.
100%.
Everyone loves the pumpkin. Everyone thinks the pumpkin is the best. Matt and I got heated because I like to buy the harvest mix. So you get some traditional candy corn, you get the
Oh
like
my god. Does that
weird
have the
folly
brown?
ones.
Does that have
Yes.
the brown? No, those are the worst.
Yes. And
Those
it
are the
has the pumpkins in
worst.
there. So you get a handful and you're like, oh, I got 2 pumpkins.
Do you like licorice as well?
Well,
Okay.
well,
we're good.
I
wait,
like red
no.
licorice. I don't
wait,
like black
I like
licorice.
red licorice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like
Okay.
I like red vines
That's fine, that's
specifically.
fine.
I don't like Twizzlers. Twizzlers are disgusting, but red vines are goated.
They're both fine. You have to get the individual. So those are both fine. But if you want good licorice, you go to the candy aisle. You look for a little like bag, and they'll have chunks like this big of like fat licorice, and those are phenomenal. That's the best licorice you'll find.
I might get some
But yeah,
breakfast.
Matt is a psychopath, and he buys just pumpkins.
Yeah,
Cook
just
them in the
pumpkins.
comments. Cook them in the comments. You can't buy just pumpkins.
Only pumpkins.
You're getting just like a handful of pumpkin. That's
yeah, it's
too
like
much.
Oops All
dude.
Berries.
No. You don't eat them at a handful at a time. Okay.
You can't.
parcel
You
out your
can't buy.
sweets.
You can't buy Lucky Charms and just have the marshmallows.
Yeah, you can.
It's unacceptable.
We have Lucky Charms at work, and pretty much everybody pours themselves a bowl and then picks out the marshmallows and throws the cereal away.
I have a bag of just the marshmallows in my fridge.
I don't know if I can keep doing this podcast. This is unacceptable
also-
behavior.
I also don't think I've ever actually had Lucky Charms before.
That's wild.
Huh.
Yeah.
It's a
Just
blessing, honestly.
wasn't a cereal that
I
existed.
I
my
avoided
family
the
as a
Lucky
kid.
Charms because we have always been poor. So if we had Lucky Charms, it was like a treat. But everybody in the family, it felt like, was more obsessed with the Lucky Charms than I was. So I would typically leave it for them.
Why don't they do fall Lucky Charms with like little turkey, little leaf?
I mean, there's Booberry. Booberry is like a blueberry.
Yeah, dude,
like,
they
That's
should
for
put
Halloween,
they
though.
should put the leprechaun in a pilgrim uniform and then have him do fall
Halloween
Lucky
and
Yeah,
fall are
yeah,
the
yeah,
same
yeah,
things.
yeah. You're on my page.
Everyone knows that Halloween and fall are the same thing. Okay. There's no such thing as actual fall because everybody lives in California, where it doesn't exist.
So
Except none of us live
promise
in
you
California.
That I was in California. I was
literally none of us.
visiting. I was
Except
visiting
we all met in
August.
California, so
That's
And
true.
I felt when the first leaf fell. I knew it. It was a sense in my body that the first leaf had fallen in Connecticut. And I told my friend about it that day. Later that night, I saw on the news that pumpkin spice lattes were coming out and that they were officially being released that day. And I was like, see, this is my sixth sense. I knew it was fall officially.
there's a fall in the air.
It is. It was. For my fall type excitement, I recently went to a corn maze. It was my first time ever going to one.
Wait. Pause.
Yes.
Earlier in this podcast, we were talking about corn.
Yes.
So what kind of corn are we talking about? What kind of corn maze is this?
Animals were involved, but none were hurt in the
Whoa.
making of my merriment.
The 1BC podcast does not
Of his
endorse this
merriment.
corn maze.
Did you hear him? He said they weren't involved in his merriment.
Yeah.
We do not
I
endorse
said
this
none
corn
were
maze.
harmed. None were harmed in my
Cancel
merriment.
him. Cancel him in the comments.
Well, I already said I wanted to be a tiger, so I was hunting prey. Anyway, so me and my girlfriend had gone to a corn maze. I had never gone to one before, and they gave us like this little map, but it was one of those maps that had like a decoder thing on it, so you had to like look at it through like the red plastic in order to be able to see. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
And we had to
cereal
figure out
box
like
situation.
yeah. And we had to figure out where we were inside of the maze without it saying like you are here. It was pretty fun though. It was a good time.
Was it a tall corn maze?
It was tall enough that I couldn't see out of it, but it was like just over my head. So it was probably like 6'2", maybe.
Okay, so it wouldn't have been fun for me.
Probably not. Well, like you still wouldn't be able to like see the path that you were going because the markers were like waist level, but the corn
Yeah.
was like 6'2". So you wouldn't be
Okay.
able to see exactly where you were going or if a trail was correct or not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So this wasn't your like, we're going to a pumpkin patch and there's a corn maze there that you just kind of follow the people in front of you and walk through the corn maze.
No, there were some people in front of us that had a toddler, and there was like a kid version, and then there was the adult version, and they decided to go through the adult version, and we lost them at the first animal, and we didn't see them again.
The adult version of your corn maze.
Yeah, there was an adult version and a kid version. Mhm.
Right. There shouldn't be a kid version. We're returning to the David conversation at this point.
We're not actually.
We're returning.
Oh.
We're returning
Oh.
to the copyright brain conversation at this point.
Oh.
I'm gonna
See,
claw
this
my
is
own
the part of
eyes
the
out.
podcast. This is the part of the podcast where KJ and I are aligned, and Nate has ostracized himself from the brain cell.
I think that's happened to each of us today. So
And anyway, it was we were gonna go get a pumpkin, but the pumpkins were super expensive for no reason. So we're gonna go to like Publix or Walmart and get a couple pumpkins and then carve them together.
Dude, I might do pumpkin painting this year.
Yeah.
I've been seeing more and more stuff about it, and the biggest thing about pumpkins is I don't really think it's the case, but Andrea says I'm really good at carving pumpkins,
Mm-hmm.
and I hate how they rot so quickly once you carve
Yeah.
them.
Do you ever
But
play
like if
Candle
you
with 'em?
leave, yeah, no, I always do.
Mm.
That's always been the thing is like, but if you make them like too early before Halloween,
Mm-hmm.
they rot by the time it gets there. Like even like next day, sometimes. Especially I think in San Diego with the humidity, like that always ruined it. Out
Gotcha.
here it's a lot drier, so they last a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, I kind of want to paint a pumpkin and
So it
like
lasts a little
have it
longer.
last. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I might like
Dude.
I might dip the pumpkins in like an entire like I'll ask everybody like, hey, what do you want your like pumpkin color to be?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll color it that a few days before, and then we'll go on and color it like the day of or something like that.
I've always wanted to do instead of like carving out like the eyes of the pumpkin,
Mhm.
do like a shallow carve so that you can see the light coming through the eyes, but it's not like fully
yeah.
carved out.
Yeah.
I've always thought that was like the coolest looking pumpkins.
Yeah, those ones are pretty great. You can do
Matt,
some
you
really
just gave
cool
me an
silhouettes with
idea.
those.
I'm thinking that I might color them, and then like towards when you get closer to the date, then you can carve them out afterwards, so that you already
Yeah,
have like
yeah, you can do that.
the shape of everything already painted out, and you just carve along the edges. I want to do one for my
But
neighbor
you're-
also, because she's like an
Yes.
elderly lady. I'm gonna do some decorating for her too. Matt, what about you? What are your
Yeah.
fall festivity things?
I mean, I love Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
Halloween's by far my favorite holiday, so I'm excited for that to come around. I don't know. Summer's always kind of my favorite. Like softball just ended for me yesterday.
Mhm.
So that was kind of sad. And we were going to try to do fall ball, but that's not happening. So yeah, out here it's a little bit weird because fall kind of comes in waves. Like the first year I moved out here, it was just like snow for months and the trees were all bare. Well, we've kind of been pretty sparse on snow, and that's normally when fall normally starts to hit. It's like when the first snow comes down, the trees will all drop their leaves.
Mm-hmm.
But I spent a lot of time out in Boston and Chicago, and fall out there is the best fall. Like I'm sure Michigan, like you're right across the lake from me, so that's
Yeah.
included. I've seen a fall Michigan before. It's gorgeous out there. But-
Usually we get one snow before Halloween and then it all melts and then we get the snow like post Christmas. Usually that's how it goes. There was one year where the leaves didn't fall for the longest time. And then like 1 week they fell, the next week they were covered in snow. So there wasn't even time to get all the leaves up before the snow came.
Oh wow.
It's awful.
Oof. Then you just get the mulch after everything melts.
Yeah. It was a rough spring that year.
Do you guys have Halloween costumes picked out already?
No, actually. Well, for years now the kids have just been Bingo and Bluey.
That's what
Yeah,
we
it's
did
been-
last year.
It's been adorable. So we got some costumes and they were too big for them at first. So then I wore it that year. I think it's been like 3 years in a row that they've been Bingo and Bluey. Because it's just perfect.
We were
but
Bingo, Bluey, Bandit, and Chili last year.
mhm,
That's cute.
it's cute. It's so
Yeah.
cute. But this year I think we're gonna, because the kids are much more able to articulate what they want at this point
Mm-hmm.
and have opinions on what they want to dress up as. So we'll see what they want to be this year. I think last year one of them wanted to be a witch, so we might actually be spooky costumes.
Ooh.
Yeah, we just picked up our costumes, I think, like 2 weeks ago.
Ooh.
I found out a spirit store moved in and immediately went to go to see what they had.
Hell yeah.
So we got the girls are going to be Jack and Sally.
Mm.
Okay.
And then we found these gorgeous masks, which I don't remember if I sent to you guys or not, but I'll send you guys a picture later. But we found Shock, Lock, and Barrel masks.
That's awesome.
So Andrea is going to be Shock. I'm going to be Lock, and I'm trying to get my dad, who's going to come out to visit, to be Barrel.
That's sick.
So, yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. Especially like you guys will see the masks later. The masks are exceptional quality, especially for like a Spirit Store.
We're gonna dress the kids up as Vi and Jinx. That's what we're gonna dress the kids up as.
That's tragic. It's
as
tragic that
you
they're
don't
going to be
dress up as
Vi and
Echo.
Jinx and not Vi and Powder.
Yeah, it's Violet and Powder. Vi doesn't become Violet. Vi doesn't become Vi until she's older, technically.
I think she's always Vi.
In TFT, they canonize that the younger version of her is Violet and the older version is Vi, because they had them both in the same set.
So once she comes out of prison with the tattoo.
Yeah, she's a hardened criminal. Is that everything that's on our one brain cell today?
I think the
our
one brain cell just
exhausted.
ran empty.
Yeah, and that's been the 1BC podcast. Thank you, Nate and Matt, for joining me today. We'll be here next week to talk about all things on our one brain cell. Leave us a like and subscribe and a comment if you have any topics that you want us to tackle. Until next week, signing off.